Hi Aries, I hope you guys are doing great. Welcome to your mid to the end of August read 2020. I'm just going to knock out those last 2 weeks together. I'm going to be posting other videos up until then, but guys, listen, this is going to be a little bit of a different reading. This is going to be a yes-no read. I've actually been getting a lot of requests to do this type of reading, and I'm more than happy to do it. Now, if you don't know what a yes-no is, it is first, taking a couple of deep breaths and really focusing on a question that you're looking for guidance on. Anything from a relationship issue to some sort of situation going on with work, a family circumstance, whatever it is. And you want to be super clear on what that question is, okay? And first, I'm going to pull Lenormand to get some background information. Then after we get that, I'm going to sweep that. I'm going to pull some regular tarot. But when I do that, I'm going to direct you guys to really relax, and best to say it out loud if you can. If you're, in a busy place or whatever and you can't really do that, or you're with people, think about it 3 separate times though, okay? I'm going to give you the directions again when I pull the tarot for that. But for now, let's pull the Lenormand. Guys, remember, these are general messages. Take what resonates, really throw out the rest. It may not be your message this time. If it's not, maybe we'll get you next time. Okay, so let's pull a few Lenormand just to get some background information. Okay, we have time. Let me show you guys. I took down my elevated card holder because cards are going to be everywhere. So I need to be a little messy. Okay, then we have woman looking at time. Okay, so this woman is Aries. If this is you, if you are a female, this would be you. If you are a male, this would be an important woman in your life. We have mice. Okay, so mice represent either somebody stealing a little at a time, something nibbling away, some sort of issue really nibbling at you. Then we have the skates, something's getting cut out. What's getting cut out? Oh, who's talking some nonsense, Aries? I mean, like, you don't want to hear it. Family, friend, people just wanting to give you their 2 cents, and you're just saying no, not even thanks, no thanks. You're like, bye. No, you don't want to hear about it. All right, so basically what we have here is this idea of time, and the female that's involved in this is very cognizant of time, but at the same time there is something bothering. If you are a female Aries, something is gnawing at you. It's some sort of issue, something that you really need to get in front of, and everybody has something to say to you, because the owls, this card is about communication coming in, but not like flippant, gossipy kind of communication. This is somebody who's like, sit down, we need to have a talk kind of thing, like a well-intended family member, friend, really wanting to give you information, but you don't want to hear about it. You don't. You know that you have to deal with something in your own way, in Aries way, right? Of course. Especially, I could tell you right now, those of you who would resonate with this reading for career, because guys, you do still have Mars is in you guys, and Mars is squaring, right, Jupiter, Pluto, Saturn in your 10th house. So, got to keep that in mind. But at the same time, let's not forget, we do have Uranus in you guys, in Aries, in you guys, in your 2nd house of finances and resources and things you value. So that's where some sort of gift is going to be coming in, some sort of change having to do with finances. So, I feel like for a lot of you, you might be following your intuition, following your gut, whatever it is. But this is the bottom line here, is that there is an awareness of time. So if you are a male Aries, this is perhaps your partner. She is very, very cognizant of time. She's wondering if she is wasting her time with you. People may be speaking to her about this, and she doesn't want to hear about it. People may be saying the same thing to you about a partner you're with. Someone may be saying this to you about a job, really wanting to put their 2 cents in, well-intended or not. But it is this idea, though, of something gnawing at you and you're not really looking at it, though. It's very important, especially for female Aries, but even male Aries. Like, you have to understand that this issue needs addressing. Like, this is how she should be, not like this, okay? So this issue needs addressing. So you can tell everybody where to go. Thanks, no thanks, maybe tomorrow, but at the same time, you do need to pay attention to this, because the clock is ticking. There is this element of time that is attached to this. So I do want to just let you guys know that. All right, so let's throw this on the side. Let's throw some astro dice real quick. We have a couple of things going on this week, 18th, 19th, 22nd. So on the 18th, we have a new moon in Aries. I really love the new moon in Aries. Listen to me. The new moon in Leo. I love the new moon in Leo because it's just a time to be creative. You know, it really is. And it's forming a trine to Mars and a quincunx to Saturn. Okay, so it could be a little wonky there. But it harmonizes with the North Node, which is all about learning right now, right? Because the North Node is in Gemini. So this new moon's a great time formulating goals regarding all things Leo. Anything having to do with romance, creativity, hobbies, relationship with children, as well as building your own self-confidence and just having a really healthy pride in yourself. Some of the Leo's lessons here, though, include taking pride in ourselves is like very unique, you know, assuming more responsibility for our lives, giving warmly and generously to others. We all have Leo somewhere in our chart. We all do. It's really good to know your chart. But you're going to want to improve whatever house it ends up falling in. So I really think that this is a welcomed slice of like positive energy right now. It's really time to make some plans and to just set the stage for reaping some rewards for these new beginnings that we're going to be starting. It doesn't matter how little or big it is. It doesn't matter. But you want to look for these things approximately 2 weeks after this full moon happens. And just know, though, this is a very stop and go energy. It's very stop and go. So something might be releasing from your life, but a block or an obstacle can appear. So it's like these ups and downs can end up motivating us to bring something, you know, new to the table, sort of like in a clean slate kind of way. Okay, so Gemini, yeah, I mean, that makes sense to me, right? Because we do, like I said, we have, it's all going to be harmonizing the North Node. So you're going to be learning something new, a new approach to something, doing something having to do with social media, communication. Gemini is a landlord of the third house. Mercury is the ruler there. So all those third house things, which is about being the student, like a fundamental student, taking that workshop, that seminar, reaching out to people online, communicating via social media or whatever it is, any kind of communication, okay? And we do have the fifth house, which is a Leo energy, so this is really, really good. I mean, and the thing is, the creativity aspect of this, I feel like, is going to be very individual for you. Will you look at this too now? Look, we got the North Node. That's crazy because that's the North Node is in Gemini. You're definitely learning a lot of stuff, and check it out. Then we have Taurus, and we love Taurus to get one of these in the throw because this is where Uranus is, and Uranus is all about the future. All about the future. Some of you guys might be doing something having to do with technology, to be honest with you, because Taurus is in Uranus. Uranus rules not only the future, but technology itself. And then the communication via the technology is more of a Gemini third house thing. So very interesting here. Very creative, though. Very creative vibe. So I do like that. And the only other thing a couple of things I wanted to mention about these energies is on the 19th, we have Mercury going into Virgo. So that just means that when we speak, we're going to be very careful. We're going to be like really looking at details. We're going to be thinking in details, which is great because we haven't been able to do that. We've been like, what's going on, you know? It's just we're going to be able to analyze and decide what's useful and what we deem to be impractical. Mercury feels very at home in Virgo because it rules Virgo. But dealing with the details of something is going to be very natural and easy now. So, you know, you just want to be careful that you don't lose perspectives, where you perspective of something where you're like completely lost in the details of something. You don't want to overthink anything. And then on the 22nd, the sun goes into Virgo. So now it's time to really see, a lot of stuff's going to be happening. I've been talking about this for a while. I just feel like there's going to be a real shift where the pieces of the puzzles and the little details are going to all start making sense right now. So it's time to take care of practical concerns, taking care of the details of everyday life. Doesn't sound like fun, but it can certainly free us from unnecessary stress that ends up resulting from collecting odds and ends, unfinished business, you know, all these things that we have to finish up. And those of you who maybe have been struggling with any kind of health issue, mental, physical, emotional, whatever it is, really going to be able to problem solve in this energy, or at least gain a healthier perspective. That's what's going on with the astrology. All right, so let's go to the yes, no. So I want you to take a nice deep breath. And I want you to either say in your mind or aloud 3 times in a row, I'll give you a moment, a question that you want an answer to. That would require yes, no. And then we're going to pull more cards to get more information. Nice deep breath in. Three questions right in a row. Okay. This is 1, 2, 3. I'm going to put in the description box below, guys, what the yes, no's are, the neutrals, all of that, so you guys can refer back to it. I also know a lot of you guys are learning tarot, and it's a fun thing to add in if you don't know about it. Knight of Pentacles, that's certainly a yes. 2 of Cups, that's a yes card. 2 of Pentacles, another yes card. Okay. 3 yeses in a row. So whatever your question on your heart is, the answer is yes. Let's see if we can find out some information. What's going on for our Aries friends? Oh, Lovers in the Fool. Very nice. Okay. So the Knight of Pentacles can be, if you are single, this could indicate you meeting somebody who is very reliable. Could be a tad boring because they're very focused on the coin. However, very reliable, very down-to-earth person. I like it. Then to have the Lovers in the Fool. Now, this could also be someone coming back around who you're already somehow involved with. Whether you're with them right now or not doesn't matter. If your energy is engaged with them and they're not brand new, this can indicate somebody coming back around. We do have the Lover's energy, which does indicate the need to make a decision having to do with the relationship. If you guys want to make it work, it's making that effort to say, okay, you know what? We have problems in the foundation of our relationship, but we need to make a real effort on both ends here to work at it equally. And if you guys can do that, this is a beautiful energy because it is blessed by Archangel Raphael. And then we have the Fool. Fool is Uranus. It's all about just focusing on moving it forward, focusing on the future, taking leaps of faith, calculated risks, saying, I'm not sure if I'm doing the right thing. So going back to Lenormand, you could have that friend saying, are you sure you really want to do this with this person? And you're just like, sit down. I didn't even ask you. Do you know what I mean? Like that kind of thing. So that is if it is for a relationship. If this has to do for a job, like congratulations, because this is a fabulous energy. This indicates getting either a raise, moving into some sort of position where you're going to be getting money. Money is not going to be an issue for you. You're going to be positioning yourself in a way where you are going to have money coming in. But it is this need to make a decision. There is a need to make a decision having to do with this career, whatever job it is. Are you going to stay? Are you going to go? What are you going to do? Because I do feel like for some of you, the decision, having the Lovers in the Fool tells me there may be a decision to step on a whole new path, new job, new position. You might stay in the same industry, but it could certainly be, you know, I'm not saying you're going to, you know, however old you are, go back to school or whatever the heck that would be, but a whole new venture, right? And it going really, really beautifully for you. Because either way, I mean, this is a really great money energy, okay, for those of you here with career on your heart. Really good connection though as well though, like even for a friend or a family situation where there needs to be this understanding that things are going to be different going into the future. And it's kind of like this agreement. So I do like that because I feel like a lot of us are going to be having more heartfelt conversation, even though like at the filming of this, I think Mars is kicking everyone's ass right now, just with the square, and it's just raw, you know, everything's like, you know, right on top. But Mercury going into Cancer, it's good. It's a nice communicative type of energy. Then we have the Two of Cups. Two of Cups, obviously, if you're in a relationship, oh my gosh, this is Venus in Cancer. This is fabulous. This is you guys making the decision together that you want to be in a relationship. You want to do this. If this has to do with career, this is committing to that business partner. This is signing that form. Now, let's go a little deeper than that. Those of you maybe who are in a position where you're not sure if your job is working out for you. You're really heavily thinking about moving because you're not sure if it can actually work out for you. You're looking for more money and you're not sure. You do know that something's like off and you're not happy with something. Now, for those of you in that space, the Two of Cups can indicate revisiting a contract, revisiting a work situation, meaning hours, responsibilities, how things are going to flow, and it going really well. Sitting your boss down or whoever it is that you work with and saying, listen, I'm not sure how I feel at this point. I don't know if this is right for me, and it going really, really well. So it could mean where your hours are improved to accommodate something else maybe that you want to do. Meaning it could be a problem solver energy for something that you might feel a little twisted about in your career right now, where you don't really want to leave, but there's this issue, and this indicates you sitting down and actually having the conversation. Now, we do have the Tower and the Page of Wands, and you're like, oh, well, that doesn't sound very positive. Well, the Tower is not negative. The Tower is an illumination. There's an awareness brought to the table. The lights are turned on, and it comes as almost a shock. So this can even be your boss or the people that you're working with not even realizing that this was an issue for you. If you're resonating with it like that. If you're resonating with it that you've made the decision to leave, and you're in this new space, you're creating a whole new beginning for yourself. But in order to create a brand new beginning, you have to close up something from the past. Because we have the Tower, which ends something, but then we have the Page of Wands, which indicates a new cycle that you're very excited to jump into. So, obviously this is a general reading. You're going to take it as it resonates. Now, for those of you who are in a relationship, you have this fabulous energy here. We have the Lovers, the Fool, the Knight of Pentacles, and we have the Two of Cups, and you're like, I don't understand the Tower. Well, listen, this doesn't mean the ending of a relationship, though it can. Tower can mean the ending of something as it was. So, you can be 21 years old in Australia watching this, and you could be 35 in India or 52 in the States. These are general messages, guys. Everybody's at a different space in their life, obviously, right? But something in your life is going to be illuminated and it's going to come down. Now, for some of you, it's going to be the way you're thinking. For some of you, it's going to be your perspective and the way you've been approaching the relationship, the way you've been approaching the job, the way the whole thing has been kind of angled in your focus. It needs to come down. It needs to come down. You guys are going through a lot right now with your energies. You have a lot going on there. And look, we all know that Aries wants what they want when they want it. And that's part of the beauty of you. That's why you guys are the Emperor, right? You guys are the leaders of the zodiac. You are. It's a leadership sign. It is, which is great. But when you have all of these other energies going on, might be time, though, to understand that maybe something, because this is a weird energy for all of us. We feel like we're more right than we actually are when it comes to just a lot of things, but particularly like interpersonal situations where we just feel like we're more right than we may be in reality is the thing. So the advice here is something's illuminated and it comes down. You need to recognize if it is your thinking, you need to update it. Somebody that you're dealing with perhaps needs to update it because the energies can always be flip-flop. They may need to update their thinking. But again, the Page of Wands is very positive because it means this moving forward. But before you move forward, if you notice what's in front, because how we're progressing the spread, something needs to change and come down before there can be this progression moving forward. But the good part of this is a very motivated, very forward-thinking, very excited, very sensual, and just it's a fire energy. I mean, everything that fire is, you know. Page of Wands indicates a new cycle, information coming in that's going to incite a new cycle. And then finally, we have the Two of Pentacles. So the Two of Pentacles indicates you being confused between two things. Okay, Jupiter and Capricorn, where you're like, okay, should I do this or that? I'm not completely sure what I want to put the most of my work into, most of my time. So for some of you, this can be being conflicted between, should I stay in this job? Should I leave? Should I take this job? Should I take that one? Should I stay single? Should I go back with this person? Or, should I go with this person or should I go with that person? Just being very conflicted between the two. But then we have the Nine of Wands clarifying these. So we have the Nine of Wands as a power position here for sure. You've been through a lot. But this is a position of power for sure, where you're recognizing everything that you've been through, but you still have fire in your belly to keep pushing forward. It's a really good energy. It's a busy energy. It's it could be stressful, because think about it, it's right before the Ten of Wands. And the Ten of Wands only happens where we have to put the wands down and end the cycle because we're not organized enough. So really tap into the Virgo, wherever Virgo is in your chart, and really try to stay organized in your thinking and your process, because I think this is going to end up being good for you. Now, we do have the Four of Pentacles energy here as well. Four of Pentacles, I always call this the checklist card. It's like, I can't stand when they do this, that, and the other thing. And I don't like this, and this about this job, or when my family member does this, and this. And it's being very, like, in your mind, very clear on what's annoying you about what somebody does, or at least not liking it. It creates a restlessness and a disappointment in us when we feel the Four of Pentacle energy. But the thing is, you're being called to look deeper than that. Because if somebody, for example, is saying, Aries, you really shouldn't do that. I mean, I hate when they tell me what I should do. Well, look deeper. Is it that you just don't want to hear it from them, or that it might incite some vulnerability or insecurity in you that you feel compelled to then look at when somebody brings that, out to the table, where they start questioning what you're doing? Do you know what I mean? It's that kind of thing where once you identify what you're saying bothers you, look under that and say, how does that make me feel really? Rather than me just saying, well, I don't like it. Why don't you like it? Like, get under it. And that's the best way to work with this energy in a really positive way. It's productive in that way. It's just productive. So, and that even having to do with the job, right? If they're saying that you have to do, a number of tasks that you're really not happy about doing, and you just feel like, why am I doing this? Perhaps you even feel, at least on a conscious, maybe subconscious level, like it's beneath you. It's not something that you feel like you should be doing. Well, then you don't feel valued, right? And it's enough to just say that and say, all right, this is it temporary or permanent? Kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? Because I feel like the energy is good. I just feel like you're going to end up getting a little trippy just because of the energy that we're going to be in. This new moon in Leo, again, is a very, like I mentioned before, it's a very stop and go energy. So you just have to be patient, but just know that you might feel like you're taking 4 steps forward, 2 steps back, but then you're going to take 5 steps forward. Just know that. That's the kind of energy that this is. So that is what I have for you guys. As far as your yes, no, the answer was yes. We gave some clarification. Somebody is going to try to be telling you what to do, and you are really not going to want to hear it. And that's okay. That's okay. That's really okay. But that is what's going to be happening for you towards the end of the month. And I am going to do a deep read by the end of the month, where we kind of dig into things a little more deeply. But I hope this was helpful in some way. Thank you so much for joining me, Aries. Until next time. Bye-bye.